in the endless, blue mystery of the world's oceans, there swims a creature whose power and grace have captured the imagination of humans for generations. The orca, often called the killer whale, moves through the water with unmatched elegance. But behind the beautiful black and white markings lies a world far more complex, a story that stretches from the wild, roaring oceans to glittering marine parks. It is a story of a relationship between man and beast, built on fascination, trust, love, and sometimes unimaginable danger. When we speak of killer whales, the first thing that comes to mind is power. In the wild, they are the apex predators of the sea, hunting in packs, communicating through complex vocalizations, and maintaining social structures that rival human societies. They are intelligent, calculating, emotional. They mourn their dead, celebrate births, and pass down knowledge from one generation to the next. It's this intelligence, this capacity for emotion, that drew humans closer. Years ago, humans began capturing orcas, bringing them into marine parks to study them, to understand them, and yes, to entertain people. The first trainers approached orcas with curiosity, stepping into the water with these massive creatures with both fear and wonder in their hearts. Over time, these trainers formed bonds that defied belief. They learned to interpret the flick of a tail, the sharpness of a whistle, the subtle movements of the dorsal fin. In return, the orcas learned to trust these strange landwalkers. A world that was once filled with predators and prey now echoed with laughter and applause. Trainers swam alongside these giants, dancing in the water, performing spectacular jumps, spins, and synchronized movements. For spectators, it was a breathtaking performance. For the trainers, it was something more, a connection that words couldn't describe. But the ocean never forgets, and neither do its children. As the years passed, cracks began to appear in this picture-perfect world. Trainers began to notice changes, flashes of frustration in the orcas' behavior, moments when their calmness shifted to unpredictability. There were instances where a harmless play session turned into a life encounter. Trainers who had spent years building trust found themselves suddenly fighting for their lives in the very same pools where they laughed and performed. Yet, in the same breath, there were stories of orcas saving their trainers, nudging them gently to safety when accidents happened, refusing to leave their side during moments of distress. There were times when the connection between human and whale felt so deep, so profound, that it defied logic. Trainers often spoke about staring into the eyes of an orca and seeing something there: intelligence, understanding, even compassion. In marine parts, the world is carefully controlled. The orcas are fed, trained, and kept in sparkling blue pools. But beneath the surface lies a growing storm. Trainers who once entered the waters with smiles began questioning what they were a part of. They started seeing beyond the tricks, noticing the bent dorsal fins, the worn-down teeth, the repetitive, almost desperate swimming patterns. They felt the weight of captivity pressing down on these majestic beings. The orcas were changing, and so were the trainers. Some trainers, once proud performers, became advocates. They left the bright lights behind, choosing instead to fight for the freedom of the creatures they loved. They spoke out against captivity, sharing painful truths, exposing hidden scars. Many joined ocean conservation efforts, pushing for sanctuaries where captive orcas could swim freely, even if never fully wild again. But for others, the bond was too strong to walk away. They stayed, trying to make life better for the orcas in captivity, fighting from within the system, battling for better care, more space, more respect. They became the voices of the voiceless, standing between corporate greed and animal welfare. Out in the wild, orcas remained free, ruling their territories with ancient wisdom. Scientists studying them discovered just how vast their cultures were: pods, speaking different dialects, hunting in unique ways, caring for their sick, protecting their young. In the open ocean, orcas showed who they truly were: rulers of the sea, keepers of mysteries we are only beginning to understand. For trainers who had only known orcas behind glass walls, seeing them in the wild was like, many wept the first time they saw orcas in their natural habitat, realizing what was taken from them in captivity. The contrast was undeniable. Wild orcas were vibrant, powerful, alive in a way that captive orcas could never fully be. Still, the story isn't black and white. Many trainers remembered moments of joy inside the parks, moments when their orca companions taught them humility, patience, unconditional trust. They recalled the gentle nudges, the playful games, the quiet understanding. The relationship wasn't built on cruelty alone. It was a complex weave of affection, routine, and survival. But the question always lingered: at what cost? As public awareness grew, so did the demand for change. Countries began banning captivity. Marine parks started phasing out theatrical shows. New sanctuaries were being built, offering retired orcas a taste of the freedom they never knew. The movement spread like wildfire, ignited by brave trainers who stepped forward and spoke the truth. and by people who refuse to look away. Asterisk even. Today, as some orcas still swim inside concrete walls, the world has changed. Their story is no longer hidden. People know about their intelligence, their emotions, their suffering, and their incredible capacity for forgiveness. Asterisk because despite everything, there are orcas who still show affection towards humans, who still seek connection. They remind us that trust, once broken, can sometimes be rebuilt. That even in captivity, the heart beats strong, the spirit fights, and the love between man and animal can survive. Asterisk for those who have stood beside orcas, who have trained them, swum with them, laughed and cried with them. Life is never the same again. They carry with them lessons that can't be taught in classrooms. They speak of loyalty, resilience, and of an ocean that calls out to be protected. Asterisk in every encounter. There's a lesson. Asterisk in every scar. A story in every orca's eye, a reflection of ourselves. We are not so different from these giants of the sea. We crave connection, freedom, respect, and perhaps, in understanding them, we learn to understand ourselves. Asterisk as you sit with this story, I want you to remember something. The ocean holds secrets older than mankind. The orcas, with their ancient songs and fierce loyalty, are part of that endless story. It's a story we've interrupted, but one we can still help heal. Asterisk if this journey moved you, if you felt even a fraction of the emotion these trainers felt, if you saw even a glimpse of the spirit these orcas possess, then don't let this story end here. Asterisk like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to Strange Teller, where stories of nature, emotion, and truth come to life. Help us be the voice for those who cannot speak. Help us tell more stories that can change the world, one heart at a time. Asterisk, this was Strange Teller, bringing you closer to the hidden truths of the animal kingdom. See you in the next story.